Hey guys, welcome back to the Tactic of the Week. We're going to be switch and paste to Assassin's Creed Black Flag. The closer we get to Destiny, the farther away we're going to get from Call of Duty. And if you've been watching our Tavern videos, you'll know exactly why. Black Flag came out with the Xbox One, one of the release games, and for good reason. It's an awesome game. It's bright, there's a lot of colors, there's great ambient noise. The water looks great, which is good because that's the majority of the game. But it doesn't hold up quite as well against Assassin's Creed 3 in a couple places. The animations for moving between trees, which was new in 3, and some of the attack animations, the kill animations, they're not as smooth, they're not as in great variety. But it doesn't detract from the game at all. It's all merely from a picky perspective. What we're going to do today is take you through ship battles. Later on in the game, you're going to bump into heavier duty, stronger ships, and I'm going to show you how to engage those ships and take them all down. All of them, however many is around you. I think there's 7 ships in this video. So keep a close eye out. I hope you pick up some really good tips, and as you can see, you can go underwater too. It's an outstanding game. Alright, so prepare yourself, you mateys and you aspiring captains. Let's get this on. Hey guys, we're going to start this off. I'm just going to show you how I've upgraded my ship so far. I'm about 54% of the way through right now, and most of the things I don't have are the prerequisite plans for the elite upgrade. You get those through the shipwreck dives and the treasure chests. So do those as much as you can. It's a very nice distraction. I have upgraded all my storage as much as I possibly can. The crew's quarters, so that when you board a ship, you have the most amount of crew going to help you out. Those I've maxed out everything except for the elite stuff, so that's about where you want to be when you start taking on man of wars. So we'll go out and see what kind of trouble we can get into. We're in a nice little bay right here, nice little cove with a small island we'll actually use to our advantage later on. When the hard wind blows like that, drop to half sail. It'll help you steer a little bit better. She gets a little ungainly when she's at full sail on a hard gale. When you're gonna start a sea battle, that was 1 man of war. This is a 2nd man of war. The first shot, make sure it's a close one. You know, use your explosive cannons to just decimate the guy and leave him a sitting duck. Catch him off guard. The other thing you want to do is manage the position of the other man of wars. They fire mortar rounds like this. It's pretty easy to sail in between them, and then use your mortar rounds to fire back as you position the ship to use your broadside cannons. When you use your broadside cannons, make sure you're aiming above the water line but below the main deck. That way you're hitting them in the beefy section of the ship. That's where you're going to get the most weak points. Upgrading your swivel guns allows you to hold Y, and it'll just plow through those. It's pretty handy. Keeping that ship between us and the man of war is a great tactic. He won't be able to fire his broadsides. He'll only be able to fire his mortar at you. Holding X while you're being shot at does decrease the amount of damage you take substantially. So don't forget to do that. However, you can't do anything while you're doing it. So it's risk reward. You're gonna have to decide for yourself when to duck and when to attack. You want to keep your broadside on either their bow or stern. That gives you a huge advantage. The power of the man of war is their broadside. So if you have to attack it, make sure your stern's pointed at it or you're headed into it. The small beam of the jackdaw makes it very hard for them to get 100% hit on you if you're headed two are away from them. Make sure you hit those weak points. They do a lot of explosive damage. And then if you see a weak bark like this, especially these hunters, just ram them. That's the best part about upgrading your ram strength, is it does a lot of damage to small ships. We'll leave him there to board later. Bumped into the mainland. Whoops. So we'll drop the hook, make a hard turn. That is actually a real-life maneuver. It's called kedging. Using the anchor to drag to turn the ship. We're going to build up some speed, get out of range. Our ship health has dropped pretty low, so we're going to regroup, get some speed. Speed is key. Man-o-wars are slow, so if you can just run circles around them, and it's no problem at all. So the nice thing about having ships out here that are disabled is that you can board a ship while you're in battle, and do that mini game and repair your ship, and then get back into the battle. So that's what we're gonna do. Wait for the icon to pop up. There it is. Hold B to board, and we'll get on there. Okay, boarding a ship is pretty straightforward. They give you a list of objectives to complete. Because the sides of the man-o-war are so high, unless there are heavy seas, something that will lift you above them, you gotta get your shots in quick. Otherwise, when the two ships come together, they'll be too high to use a swivel gun. Swinging on the rope is the best way to get up there, and then just start taking guys out. Once you understand how the fighting mechanics work, it's pretty easy and fun to do. It starts by blocking and counterattacking. That's the best way to initiate it. And once you've killed an enemy, you just hit X on the next highlighted enemy, and he'll kill that guy. And then X on the next highlighted enemy, and he'll kill that guy. And you can chain attacks together. You can chain as many as you want until you're either interrupted by someone who attacks you, or you run out of guys to kill. Just be mindful that there are some enemy types that you can't attack directly. You need to throw them off balance first, and you do that by hitting A. The heavy guys, there's one right there holding the axe. We'll run by him. We'll take out the last powder keg. That's one of the requirements. 3 powder kegs. Boom, that's done. There's the captain. He's too far away to shoot. If you can catch him off guard, you can assassinate him like any other character, and that's the easiest way to take him out. Alright, ship's ours. That means we can repair the jackdaw and get back into the fight. There shouldn't be too many ships left. I actually want to say there's only one man of war left. We just need to find them. They do move around a bit while you're boarding. So when you come out of a boarding, just be prepared for anything. More ships could have joined the battle, or the ship will be in a different position than when you left it. There he is, going into the cove. He's firing his mortars at us. He's put himself in a precarious position because he can't use his swivel guns from there. Even if he goes broadside to us now, that little island is going to be between him and us. So while we dodge his mortar attacks, we will attack him with our mortars. And then once his health is low, we'll just charge in there and ram him. The nice thing about ramming a ship to its doom is it puts you right in the perfect spot for boarding, which is good if you need to get out of the battle, like we just did. We needed a ship to board to repair the jackdaw a bit. So if you ram a ship, you can board it right away, and it gives you the opportunity to get some stores, either heavy shot if you're down on heavy shot, or mortar strikes if you're down on mortar strikes. So we're going to hold X to take cover while we go through that mortar strike, and then ram him, and that should bring him to his knees. As soon as we've rammed him, we will start the animation for, nice bit of wind there, pick up some speed. Start the animation for boarding. However, because we're in such close quarters, the two ships aren't going to be able to line up for us to successfully use our swivel guns and the like. That up and down, that is a great way to move about a ship, especially if one of the requirements is to take the enemy flag. So So since we can't line up, we will do this all on our own. That ship is ours for the taking. All we gotta do is complete the requirements. Crew, powder reserves, enemy captain. No problem. Here we go. So we're on the ship now. I destroyed one powder keg getting on the boat. And now we're just going to plow through another 18 guys. And this is where the fighting really hits its stride. There's no other crew on the boat to worry about. Nobody to protect or help out. It's just you versus an entire ship of enemies. So take your time, be patient. Make sure you're blocking and counterattacking, and then chaining some kills together. Have fun with it, you know. The deck is the limit. There's plenty of guys out here, so move towards the captain. That guy, that's one of the heavies. Make sure you attack him from behind, or make sure he's at least off balance. Those are agile enemies. They carry throwing knives. If you go into combat with them barehanded, you can take their weapon from them and then throw it at them. I'm not going to ruin the surprise for you. It's pretty sweet. I would suggest trying it. The dodge is blocking the heavy. You can't actually block their attack. It's too low. You know, it's a heavy attack. You can't block it. So you roll out of the way. You need to throw them off balance, and then taking them down is easy after that. Always bum rush the guys who are reloading. Works every time in every game. That's the last powder keg. Get out of combat here a little bit, especially with the heavy. Just blow it up. Ship's ours. Now that the ship is ours, because it was the last ship in this battle, I'm actually going to take it for Kenway's fleet. Having man of war in your fleet for that minigame is important because of the storage capacity that they have and their endurance and firepower. They're slow, but they make up for it in other ways. It's a couple of ugly blokes right there. So that's that ship battle. There are, of course, more ships out there. We're still in a restricted area, so avoid the yellow if you want to just move on to the mission. If you'll notice the two flashing white areas on either side of that ship, those are the areas you have to be in to initiate a boarding sequence. There are other ships out there. You can start another fight and use that same pattern, that same tactic pattern. It's pretty flawless, especially having a ship around that you can repair with. I hope that helped you guys. I am actually going to give up on that ship and board this one for my own enjoyment, but I hope you enjoy this game as much as I do, and happy captaining. Running through that door, and if they happen to have sitrep on, they really need to be paying attention to see it on the ceiling. We can see people coming out of the front of the pro shop, both from